The 2024 NHL season is officially over. That means it's the end of my rookie year as a fan. It wasn't even a whole year. I got into the season like 40 games in or something. And I was just like, you know what? The NFL is over. Let's move on to the next thing. And I can't think of a better way to commemorate my rookie year as a fan than to make a tier list that nobody asked for. I don't go by the traditional A, B, C, D tiers. I got my team, which we'll get to in a second. I got teams I think that are neat. Teams I'm indifferent about. Division rivals. Pre-shit list. My shit list. And then the too soon tier. We'll get to that in a little bit. Let's get started with my team. First thing, the Kraken have the coolest team name of all 32 teams.
The Kraken!
Not only that, but they also got two really good goalies. And Joey and Gruby just do it for me. And C, or whatever number we're on, I got some family over there, and they're always telling me that I should root for the Seahawks. But it's a bit late for that. And if I ever make a video about the NFL, you'll know why. The Ducks. The Ducks bring up a good question that I have, which is, are NHL division rivalries as hot as they are in the NFL? I don't know. Plus, if you know anything about ducks, especially male ducks, you'll know that they are vile, evil creatures. Therefore, ducks can frig off. Coyote fans. If you see a Coyote fan on the streets, just give him a hug and let them know everything is going to be alright. And that's not their fault.
Look at me, son. It's not your fault.
The Bruins kick off my pre-shit list, not for any particular reason other than this guy and his face. This guy suffers from punchable face syndrome, and I feel like he would sell me questionable meats in Fallout 4. The Sabres I feel indifferent about. I like their team name and I like their logo, but I don't really have any other opinions about them other than that. The Calgary Flames. Oh, that reminds me. I need to take out the garbage. Anyway, they are the first team on my shit list, and only because of this guy. His last name sounds like an acne medication, and he's a very dirty boy, and I do not like him at all. Therefore, shit list. The Canes. At first, I was indifferent about the Canes because I thought their jersey was kind of lame, how it just said Canes. But then they were in the playoffs, and as I said earlier about goalies, Frederick Anderson was just kind of doing it for me. So they became the team that I was rooting for in the playoffs, but alas, it did not work. The Black Hawks. Based off of where I currently reside, I am obligated for my own well-being to say that I think they are neat, despite me having to enunciate their name every time I say it. And enunciating is not something that I am very good at. The Avalanche. My college roommate, what's up Colton, how you doing sunshine, who first introduced me to hockey, was an Avs fan. Therefore, I am kind of an Avs fan, I think they're neat. Therefore, I root for his team just out of friendship and loyalty. The Blue Jackets. I had to Google these guys to make sure that their name was the Blue Jackets. I wasn't totally sure. They seem very forgettable to me. Plus, they're in Ohio, and I don't like Ohio very much. Therefore, pre-shit list. The Dallas Stars. This might be a bit interesting. My brother's buddies, who are all Avs fans, strongly dislike the Stars. Apparently, there's some kind of rivalry between the two. It might light research that hasn't proven to be true, but, feel free to tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. So I was rooting for the Stars in the playoff despite my friends all rooting against them vigorously. And in doing that, I discovered Ottinger, who, guess what, is another goalie that I like to watch. But they lose some points for originality because they're called the Dallas Stars. And can you think of another Dallas team affiliated with Stars? The Red Wing. Despite them being Tim the Toolman Taylor's team, I just think they're indifferent and I have no strong opinions about them at this point right now. The Oilers are pre-shit list. I did not want them to win the Stanley Cup. Mainly because of this guy. It's not his face, it's his attitude when he's doing press conferences. He kind of seems like a jerk. Almost like he watches too much House and he's trying to be like him or something. Plus his name sounds like the wrong way to ride a horse. The 2024 Stanley Cup champs, aka the Florida Panthers. I was thinking about becoming a Panthers fan, but then also in my light research on Reddit, I saw that a lot of people consider the Panthers to be like a toxic, dirty team. That might be true. I guess there was some kind of cheeky stuff going on during the playoffs. But as of right now, I think they're neat. But these are all subject to change. The LA Kings are division rivalries, so frig 'em. And that's all I have to say about that. The Minnesota Wild. My buddy, who was an Avs fan, strongly dislikes the Wild. So therefore, I'm obligated to put them on my pre-shit list, even though I like their logo and I like their goalie. The Montreal Canadiens, eh? They're kind of like the epitome of indifferent for me as of right now. That's all I got. The Nashville Predators. I might say this is my second favorite team, and it's for these two reasons. 1. Roll the clip, Ryan. And 2, I'm a big Chris Hansen fan. And I feel like that if Nashville wanted to go a completely different direction with this team name, then Chris Hansen would do an MSNBC Dateline special about them. The New Jersey Devils. Whenever I think of the New Jersey Devils, I think of this part in Seinfeld. And that is all I think of when I think of the New Jersey Devils. The New York Islanders are a team that plays in New York. The New York Rangers are another team that plays in New York. Unfortunately for them, they have this guy. I do not like his face. This isn't rational. This is totally biased. This guy might be the nicest guy in the world. I don't know. Let me know if I'm wrong. I'll gladly put them up. But as of right now, his face makes me put them in the pre-shit list. The Senators. In my R&R, that's Reddit research, when I learned that a lot of people consider the Panthers to be a dirty team, also said that the Tkachuk is a dirty player. I don't know if they meant the Panthers Tkachuk or the Senators Tkachuk. I'm just going to assume that it's both Tkachuks, and I'm going to keep an eye out on them. But as of right now, I'm indifferent towards them. The Flyers. I do not like their logo one bit. However, their mascot is related to Grimace. Therefore, these cancel each other out, and I am indifferent towards the Flyers. The Penguins. I cannot, in good mind, put a Pittsburgh team in any tier list right away other than the pre-shit list. Again, if I make an NFL team tier list, you will know why. The Sharks suffer from having a cool logo, but being a division rival, so I have to say frig 'em. The Blues. You might think that since I said that I like watching goalies, I would like these guys, because they have a goalie that likes to fight. But you think wrong. The Lightning. What can you say about the Lightning? The Leaves. I was told by a little bird the Leaves fans are full of themselves. But then I saw a video of a young Leaves fan helping an old Leaves fan by jumping his car. Then that Leaves fan gave the other Leaves fan a ticket to the game. And then that made me think that, all Leaves fans are nice and that this is a very heartwarming moment. But then I also realized that that's making a small sample size represent an entire population, and that sounds like bad science. So I didn't fall for their propaganda, therefore I am indifferent towards the Leaves. The Canucks and the Sharks are the same in the sense that they have really cool logos, but they're division rivals, so frig 'em. The Golden Knights are in the same ship as the Canucks and the Sharks, only not as cool of a logo, but it's still pretty cool, but they're also still in the same division, so still frig 'em. The Capitals. Being the team in Washington, which is the nation's capital, and being called the Capitals seems a bit on the nose for me. But ultimately, that doesn't matter because I have no opinion about them. And last but not least, the Jets. Guess what? If you have a guy like Hellebuck on your team, I'm going to think you're neat. So that's my rookie year as a fan represented in a tier list. The plan is to do one of these at the end of every season, just to see how things change. I predict that a lot of these guys will join these guys, but we'll see what happens. If you want to see what other videos I make between now and then, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you want to hit the bell, I think that's something that I'm supposed to tell you to do. But in the meantime, just gotta come up with a creative outro at some point. But now's not the time.